Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be taking a look at a game called Kristala today. We're going to be doing it a little bit different. In this case, I'm just going to actually play the game and we're going to be looking at it together. And it's the first game that I've ever had to go out and actually purchase a controller for because the game is best suited for a controller. This is a dark fantasy action RPG that takes a lot of examples and things from other games that some of it I've heard good things about and some things I've heard bad things about. Without further ado, let's just get into the game and take a look at it. If you guys like what you see here, make sure you hit the subscription button, hit the bell notification to know when I put up a new video, and let's go ahead and take a look. It looks like we have a character design here. We can actually put in a name, which it's not going to let me do. Sweet. There's other classes here. Knight, Assassin, Shaman, Battle Mage. You know what? We're definitely going to go with a Battle Mage. And we got different clans. See, masters of the natural world and what exists within it. The Nassar Gardens, that's an interesting name. Our gentle and kind clan, they call upon their crystals, eminence-based nature magic for protection in times of great need. And it looks like you have a couple spells right off the bat that are linked to it. My Tuna. What an interesting name. Skilled in divination and all things occult, the My Mere Tuna Crystal's malediction-based spirit magic allows its clan of necromancers to summon the spirits of warriors past to aid them in battle. And the Tandara. The tundra-dwelling Tandarans are skilled hunters and fishers. They summon their crystals, eminence-based ice and crystal magic to manipulate weather, freezing enemies, and foes. Interesting. I think I'm definitely going to go with the... Nope. We're going to go with the tuna here. And then we got fur color. Wow, that looks like a Siamese cat right there. I would say probably my biggest complaint right off the bat is that these look too much like domesticated house cats. This is going to be one of those hairless cats for sure. Like you can even see the wrinkle in the skin where they took the actual like texture from probably one of these types of cats. I don't know, but that's weird. Oh, straight up. We're going right here. Yes, we're gonna find. Let's see. No, we're gonna go to the original difficulty. Now the settings does have a difficulty setting, but it is certainly clear that that setting doesn't mean shit because it's asking us to put it here too. Now, from what I understand of this game, it is a pretty small dedicated studio of developers that have actually put this game together. So far, the menus seem to be really crisp and clean. And now the game is just taking like a century to load. So I don't know what's going on here with this. Oh, I guess we'll find out soon enough. All right, so that loaded in. So we got weather effects. I haven't used the controller in a long time, so... Okay, we can double press the center. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. We had a little bit of a problem with the controller not connecting, so had to fix that. So let's take a look at what we have here. I haven't used the controller in a long time.
Why, hello there. Yeah, I am Atreus Stone, leader of the Ruxaka. Yeah, and you are? Ah, yes, the new initiate. It's a pleasure meeting you. You must be from somewhere or elsewhere, I'm sure. Welcome, welcome. Before you, I bear a legendary task, set forth in days of yore by Elaria of the Nisaga. To become Ruxaka, you must first embark upon a proving journey to each of the 6 clans. Stand judgment before the sacred crystals. Such is your trial. I've arranged for a ranger to accompany you in your travels through Dalamace, though it seems he has not yet arrived. You might seek him out westward at his Jakanda lookout. He goes by the name Dibar. Return you then to these gates and find me in Nisa when you are ready for your first judgment. Safe travels, Ruxaka.
Well, the audio is on point when it comes to voice, and we're still having some problems with the controller connecting. Now, when I first saw this game, I was thinking like this was a game that had some like development where it was put together like what you would see in a lot of games that have been taught through a tutorial, but this is so much larger than that. We have some fonts that actually, this did not work as intended, so the game loads weird. It has weird issues when it comes to the controller so far. Looks like this is the font that they were talking about here. What I can tell you for sure is that the volume levels in this game are weird. To lock on, it's going to be R. And then double R to switch targets. The camera movement is combat seems crisp. This game is super loud, and it looks like the controller is just not going to work at all. So we're going to definitely return that. Let's see if we can keep playing here through mouse and keyboard, which seems to be able to work so far. We got a little bit of jank when it comes to loading in between scenes. We were able to pick that up. This, I think, is supposed to load something. It clearly does not. Now, this is a game. This is a game that's actually still in development, right? So it's okay that it is got a few issues. Combat seems really fluid. And this is definitely best played on a controller. I can tell you that now, just from the way that it feels. That is super snappy. And I can't... Okay. It doesn't make contact with walls, so you can swing through walls. That's okay, that's pretty normal. The animations for climbing and stuff, they need to be smoothed out. So far, the map is way larger. You take no falling damage. Okay, that's cool. There seems to be stutters in between spots where it needs to load. Okay. There's no challenge there. You can't fall off of it whatsoever. Once you're on it, that's it. You can't fall off of it. The rope grab is really cool. Corruption can be lethal if you get too close. You can clear it by destroying the source. Okay, so the source must be this. There is a wall jump. Okay, looks like it says space. If there was one thing that I could say, I really wish they would make those bigger. That's really hard for me to read. Okay, so you can go in different directions on it. That's cool. That actually takes away life. All right, I don't know what I'm missing here for that. That's definitely your heel. Whoa, can I make that jump at all? Why can't I reach that? Because you have to be sprinting? Just random cat noises too. You just snatch onto the line, so that's okay. Where's the source? Oh no. I didn't get the source, so... Okay, I see. There's a block and a deflect. Which it doesn't matter because I'm going on offense. Balance and takedowns. Let's see, once it's empty, attacking and deflecting enemies lowers the balance bar. Once it's empty, press F to perform a takedown. It told me and I immediately forgot. The animation's not very clear, so... Oh my. That was awesome. Go to your equipment tab to equip your new item by holding Q. Okay. Sweet. Already taking on the offensive. That animation certainly needs to be rounded out right there. Pretty cool though. There's definitely stuff in there. Camera angles are really hard to control indoors. Okay, there's a wall climb here. I really wish those vines were better suited out so that it was clearly obvious that this was a wall that you can climb. That was dope. Sweet. Does it give you... Okay, it does tell you what each of these do. We have decided to go with a... caster, so we're going to go with willpower here. We got a spell tree. Okay, we don't have enough to actually unlock that. There's a feline tree. And then there's exactly where we are for traveling. So there's fast travel in the game, which tells me that the game is actually larger than we're expecting.
If it isn't another initiate, stalking my way like a wanton vagrant. Brilliant. Presumptuous, are we not?
Yes, we are.
Very well. I am Prada Lu, Leomanon scribe, cosmic cartographer, and apprentice to chronicler Udamos. To what do I owe this interruption? Atreus Stone? That bumbling fossil playing at wizardry. He could not hold a candle to the archivists of you, let alone conjure the simplest fairy light.
Really?
Perchance, are you familiar with the celestial folio of chronicler Udamos? No, I scarcely thought as much. My tutor wishes me to acquire for him 5 particular scrolls. Star charts, to be exact. Long ago loaned to the libraries of the late magistrate Rayla, and at present egregiously overdue. The scrolls lie just beyond this gate, somewhere in Her Magistrate's mounds. Given your apparent talent for impertinence, you might do for me this simple task. In return, I offer really payment, as well as knowledge. That is, if you contain the proclivity for complex thought.
Wow, okay, lady. Rude. Rude-ass cat. I took him a second to die. That was weird. All right, we're going to get to the end of this, guys, and then we're going to wrap it up. That combat is really hard with a trackball. So you can just walk right up on them. That's dope. Okay, you can go over the fence. It doesn't really seem to matter that you are playing the game for the first time or not. Go to the equipment tab to change your armor. We're going to go ahead and change our armor. Did it update the way that we look? It did. So it has its own individual graphics. That's pretty awesome. But like I said, it doesn't seem to be that if it's your first time here, then the first thing you should understand is it seems to be all the classes are based around this tank class, battle mages, so forth. You can cast more spells, but the look will remain the same. And there should be a way to open up that door, but it doesn't appear to be a way immediately to open it. I don't see a climb spot. Oh, it just has an activation. Silly me. Is that the way that we came in? Couldn't possibly. Okay then. It looks like another way to start. Now that we've gotten a chance to get everything organized and back on track, we were talking to this lovely lady right here who has nothing but great things to say about us before visiting the leveling interact here. Has this deafeningly, roaringly loud effect that the game seems to have overlaid over top of it. So no matter how much you actually want to adjust these controls right here, they are extremely loud. Now the developers were nice enough to put these at 50 all the way across instead of 100 when we first got into it, which didn't blow your ears out, but the levels are still extremely off when it comes to being able to play the game. We are still in the tutorial area. We had a little bit of an issue with the controller, and we had to take a break and get that sorted out. So we're playing on mouse and keyboard as of right now. A little bit of jank right there for the combat. Can't open that. Pick up some more of this dust. Bog grog. I like the sound of the armor that they have on the guys that are just walking through. Make sure I'm not missing anything here. Wait. Can these... Can we actually... Yeah. Listen to how loud that is. That's... That thing. All the way down there. Amazingly, this map is way larger than I expected. We have some corruption there. That's a lot of guys right there. Can this be opened? I think it's meant to be opened. I feel like there's a whole bunch of guards that are over here, so maybe there's something large that's over here. We have a bunch of this corruption that's coming through here. The crawl animation is actually pretty smooth. It goes straight down. I love it. Okay, so they have eyeballs that see me, right? That dude's got range, so... Okay, so it's color-coded, too. That's a nice quality of life right there. I like it. If we're going to do this, though... There was recently an update to the AI in this game. Locked from the other side. Okay. There's more people there. Wow, how large is this area? Okay, can we kill this corruption? Doesn't open. He just ran through the corruption. Okay, so we can't. Something tells me he shouldn't have been able to pull through that then. Nice. It's easy to get locked into this game, I could say that. They did a good job of at least controlling the narrative. Okay, we dropped the corruption. Wow, I didn't need to do that. Locked from the other side, okay. We got a ring. Is there, okay, rings right here. Nice. We got our first ring. Probably shouldn't have been able to squeeze past that. That didn't feel good right there. Oh shit. That's no good. Alright, we are still bleeding. And that was a pretty gnarly fight. Okay, that seems to have fixed it. I don't know what that was. I have not one clue what that was. All right, well, life's a journey, I guess. We've already been over here. I think this is back where I came from. Yep. So the only way to go is actually up. Well, I don't think we finished over here, did we? Locked from the other side. There's a nice spot to get stuck right there for people. Ah! Yay, we got it. There was 2 in here. Let's see what happens when we die. Really long load times. There's a lot of room for improvement for the load time here. At least add an animation that shows that it's moving and thinking. At least that tells people that it is doing something at least. This is a still image, and then it just kind of tosses you back into the world, back where you're at. So this is a first minor look at just the tutorial area. And as you can see, just spawning at this, the enemies have respawned too, so you have to replay the area. The game certainly doesn't play like I expected, and this is a first time playthrough for it, just so we can get an idea of what it looks like. So let's talk wrap up for Kristala here for a moment. When I first looked at this game, I originally wanted to do a review where it was the game's actual play versus the trailer, because the trailer is very well done compared to how the game actually plays and looks. There are some great things about the game, like the voiceovers in it, and then there's some not so great things in the game, like the way the audio shifts and tilts and pans on the character to items like the shrines that are extremely loud. I agree that this game needs to be done with a controller. However, I couldn't get a controller to work, so this game was sort of difficult to play with mouse and keyboard with its layout. Luckily, you can remap keys. The biggest issue I have with this game is that they have a price tag of $30. It's on sale for $17.99. I think that's probably about fair for a game that you're going to get 6 to 10 hours out of. The best thing about this is that 6 to 10 hours is actually going to be kind of rich. The developers actually care about this game, and they put constant updates to it all the time. Now, I would be remiss to not tell people that the key was supplied to me through Keymailer by the developers for me to take a look at it. When we decide to review games on YouTube and we get a key like that, we're doing it because we are interested in the title. They don't come to us, we go to them and we say, hey, we're interested in your game. And they give us a chance to play it and give us our opinion. The best part about that is that we don't have to give them an opinion that is in their favor, because that is not how the system works. They give us a key and then they want actual feedback from us. So the feedback for me to the developers for this game is the way that influencers are going to support your game is by making it very clear that you're a small studio with an active community that actively participates in your game. That is the experience for this game, not the game itself. The experience is playing it and working with the community to build an enriching story, which luckily the game has. Now, I haven't played enough of it to say what my experience is with it, but I have watched enough videos and looked up enough information on the game to get a good idea that the story is much larger than what you're going to see in the first 30 minutes of the game that I have probably played for you. And I'm now doing the wrap up in a single layover format. I'm doing that because I had so many problems trying to record this, and I ran out of time for the deadline to put this game up for review. I wanted to put more time into this game, so what I'm going to do is actually play more of it and then actually give you a review, as opposed to just seeing what the first tutorial looks like. That doesn't really tell you much about the game at all, but it does tell you about its development. There's a roadmap for the game, it has an active development cycle, and the devs actually give a shit about this game. And that is the draw for it. However, $30 is a steep price tag to pay for this game. I think $17 is pretty fair, and I really wish it was more like $15 with some upgrade packs for people who actually want to invest in your title. For that, I'm going to say pick it up while it's on sale right now, while it's 40% off. I'll leave a link down in the description down below, and I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week and enjoy the title. By the way, the channel is now at 1,400 subscribers. That is mind-blowing from the last video. Thank you guys very much. Peace.